Hello everyone, welcome to Sale-a-Bration Sunday. We're almost to the end of Sale-a-Bration Sunday. This is a series that I do to showcase some of our Sale-a-Bration products. After today, we only have 2 Sale-a-Bration Sundays left. So if you have not yet purchased your Sale-a-Bration products, you cannot earn those Sale-a-Bration products free, you guys need to start shopping my online store because we are running out of time. To get these Sale-a-Bration products free. If you are shopping my online store, this is my this is my February host code. When you shop my online store using this host code, you get extra benefits. All orders receive a PDF with 3 exclusive projects. Orders over $50 or more receive that free Sale-a-Bration product. And you also receive the make and take kit that coordinates with these projects, with the PDF projects. So you get some extra little perks and benefits for shopping with me. So I'm just pulling myself up next to me. I'm going live an hour earlier today. We just have a lot going on. Last week was just a crazy week. And I didn't even have time to go live last week like I had planned. Things just didn't work out. And this weekend is turning out to be the same. I had a class yesterday which was so much fun, so great, and it snowed the entire time. I was a little worried during my class, but it's okay. It worked out. People came out in the snow, and I really appreciate that. And it was a great class, and those cards were super cute, super fun. And but today is another busy day. So this is what we are making today. We are making this adorable little, well, it's not little, it's pretty big. I actually have my camera up higher than I normally do just to be able to fit this on screen. But this is a card purse, which is what I'm calling it. So last week, if you remember, we made some cards using that softly sophisticated stamp set. So these are the cards that we made last week in last week's Facebook Live Sale-a-Bration Sunday. And so there are coordinating envelopes with this. So I have 6 cards total with envelopes, and those fit into our little card purse perfectly, and the lid closes, and so you can give this to somebody just as a sweet little gift. It's an adorable, beautiful project. There is no stamping on this project whatsoever. Not a single lick of stamping. No ink either. You could always ink some of the DSP or stamp directly on the DSP. You can always add a stamp tag. That would be cute too, but for today's project, not a single bit of stamping. We are just using cardstock and paper, and today we're talking about the softly stippled DSP, which we'll get into in a minute. You can earn that one free. All right, guys, today kicks off the March subscription period for Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is that monthly subscription that's going to come to your door, and it's going to have all those crafting products ready to go. March's kit is going to include a free stamp set. So you're going to get 2 stamp sets. You're going to get the one that coordinates with the kit, and then you're going to get an additional free one. And it's going to be 9 cards, each of 3 designs. February's kit should be shipping this week, and those are spring projects, which I cannot wait for, and I will share that when I get that. All right, like I said, guys, we are down to our final couple weeks of Sale-a-Bration. So if you have not gotten everything from that Sale-a-Bration brochure, make sure you do. Stampin' Up! Released even more items that you can earn for free during Sale-a-Bration. There's a couple on here that are just phenomenal. This delightfully eclectic DSP, let me pull that one out real quick because I want to show that one to you guys. This is a mega stack of DSP. Look at all of this DSP you're going to get. I think this is what, like 48 sheets? Yeah, you get 48 sheets, and there is so many different patterns in here. It coordinates with so many different things. I love this DSP stack, and you get this free with a $50 order. This is a $30 value DSP stack, so that is a phenomenal value that you can get that $30 item free with a $50 order. So that's right here in the delightfully eclectic DSP. They've also added some more stamp sets, some memories and more things, a kit, and then down here for $100 they added a couple options, that dragonfly punch, and then the Stampin' Right markers, the new core colors. Now if you haven't seen the Stampin' Right markers, they've been redesigned with the new catalog. Their tips are so much better. Both tips, the brush tip and the fine point tip, have been redesigned, and these are phenomenal markers. These are not our Stampin' Blends, these are our Stampin' Right markers, but they are so great, and with those new redesigned tips, you will not be disappointed, I promise. So just a few more options for you to choose from. We will have 2 more Sale-a-Bration Sundays with the products in here. I think we're doing Watermelon Wonder one week, and then this one is scheduled for next week, the Heartfelt Hellos. I think I still might do this one. The punch right now is currently unavailable that coordinates with these, but I think I still might try to squeeze in a cute project with that. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about online exclusives. Right now, the demonstrators have a pre-order for online exclusives, and this is just a small sampling of them. You can see that beautiful DSP. I'm actually going to show this to you in just a second, but there are so many beautiful products in the online exclusives, and one of the perks of being a demonstrator is that we get to see and order these products early. So if you're a demonstrator, right now you can pre-order from the online exclusives. If you are thinking about joining and becoming a demonstrator, you can actually put these products in your starter kit. Now, typically during my Sale-a-Bration Sunday posts, I generally show you a sample starter kit, but today, instead of a sample starter kit, I'm just going to show you some of the items that I pre-ordered from the online exclusives. So let's go ahead, let's just jump into this one. This is the Happy Little Things bundle. Look at these amazing, excuse me, these amazing greetings. You have these really big greetings. You have some scripty ones that go with it. And then you have some like text, you know, just regular font ones. And then it comes with these 2 little dies. The bundle comes with these 2 little dies. Aren't they so cute? Look at how cute this little tiny die is. But you get like a little banner end, a little scalloped border end, and these cut out these greetings perfectly. It's so cute. So this is one thing. This is the Happy Little Things bundle. You can put that in your starter kit. The Pets and More. This is a reversible stamp set. So when you stamp the opposite side, and I have a few in here that I've already stamped. I was playing with them. So you have the little dogs. You like stamp the detail of the dog, and then you flip it over and you get that solid image. So kind of like a 2-step stamp. And then the same is true for the little cat and the little bunny. So just really sweet little animals. These are so adorable. And you'll have lots of fun playing with this one. So that's also coming in the online exclusives. Now, if you don't want to put these in your starter kit, or you're not a demonstrator, you can't get these now, you can purchase them in my online store beginning March 5th. All right, Comforting Thoughts. I got this one. This one has just such amazing greetings. Cancer sucks. We're here for you. I'm so sorry. You can do this. I wish I could make this better. These are just so many beautiful encouraging greetings for somebody going through some hard times. So I love this. Thinking of you, praying for you, hoping with you. So there's no good card for this. I do have lots of love to give. I don't have all the right words to say. So just beautiful greetings that you can do for anything. All right. The other thing is these adhesive back shiny sequins. These are my colors. These are my jam. I love these. Let me see if does the PDF say what color they are? Let me see. They are featured on here. So let me see. It says Pumpkin Pie, Lemon Lolly, Melon Mambo, and Lemon Lime Twist. And boy, do I love these colors. These are so adorable. So fun. I'm going to have to stock up on these, but these will be available in the online exclusives. And then we have the Flowering Zinnias DSP. So I'm going to pull this out now. I've already used up the entire sheets of these 2 patterns. This is all I have left of these 2 patterns, but you can see just how stunningly gorgeous they are. I just love the colors in these, and that is pretty much the main reason I got these. I didn't buy the bundle that coordinates with these, but I did get the DSP just because I am so in love with the colors. This Melon Mambo one, and it's so pretty. It has just some like tone-on-tone zinnias on there, and the backs. So just beautiful patterns. So these are all available in the online exclusives. So if you do want to join my team during Sale-a-Bration, it's a great time to join. Pumpkin Pie, so pretty. This is a great time to join because you're going to get extra benefits during Sale-a-Bration. You can put on the glass mat for studio for free in your starter kit, or you can add on an extra $30 in your starter kit. So however you choose to do your starter kit, there is no wrong way to go with that. So that is just a few of the online exclusives. This is a huge selection of online exclusives for this one, so there's even more to choose from. So if you are interested in joining, please let me know, and I will make sure to get you all that information. All right, guys, so we're going to jump into the project today, finally. But this is what we're making today, this beautiful card purse. And again, it holds 6. It probably holds even more. There, you might be able to get like 8 in there. Greeting cards. And we're going to talk about a few ways that maybe you can improve this, and just how I did it and how maybe you can make it even better. So this is what we're making today. We're going to talk about the Softly Stippled DSP that is in our Sale-a-Bration brochure. So that is this DSP. And I know in the brochure, it doesn't come off as beautiful as it actually is. But one side has beautiful floral patterns that are kind of like stippled. And then the other one has just beautiful neutral tones that you can really use for anything. This one coordinates with that stippled rose bundle in the mini catalog. So you can really use this for anything. Beautiful, beautiful just patterns. I love this pool party one too. Very pretty. If you're a fan of wild wheat, you're going to love this paper. I am actually loving wild wheat. So I am a big fan. This one is beautiful because you can just color all of these if you want it. That is beautiful. And then this is the pattern we're actually using today, is this kind of wild wheat fabric-y kind of looking pattern. And then just some more like wild wheat wash, which is just so beautiful. So that is the Softly Stippled DSP. You can get this free with a $50 order during celebration. After celebration though, you will not be able to get it. So make sure that you are shopping during celebration. All right, let's jump into the project. If you are watching this on Facebook, please share this with your crafty friends or anyone who you think will enjoy this. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out. It helps my business grow, and you guys never miss a video when you subscribe. All right, let's jump into the project. So today's project is one that you're probably only going to make for a couple of really good friends, because this is going to be kind of a labor of love. This video might be a little bit longer because the purse takes a little bit of extra time to make, but whoever you give this to, they're going to be so touched. They're going to be so touched. All right, so you're going to need two pieces that are 10 by 8.5. So, and we're going to score them exactly the same. So I've already scored one of them just to save a little bit of time. So I'm going to show you how to score the other. You're going to score them exactly the same. So 10 by 8.5. So you're going to need 2 full sheets of cardstock, basically to make this. So we're going to score it at 2 inches on each side. And I'm using wild wheat for my cardstock color. And then I'm using that, whoop, that jumped the track, hold on. And then I'm using that pattern in that Softly Stippled DSP, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So 2 inches on all 4 sides, and that's all you're scoring. Now we are going to score one more thing. I have a piece of wild wheat. Again, this is going to be the handle for our little purse. This is going to be this little handle up here. And so this piece is 1 by 8.5, and I've already rounded the corners on these with my corner rounder. And for this piece, though, we are going to do a little bit of scoring. We're just going to score it at 1 1/4 on each side on the long side. So just 1 1/4, and that's going to help us make our little handle. All right, and that's it. That's all of our scoring. So for a super fancy project, this purse has very simple scoring. Okay, now our big pieces of paper here, they are going to be trimmed differently. And I am going to try to, oh, hold on, this one didn't score all the way through. Hold on, I'm going to have to grab my scoring tool out just one more time to make sure we have the right score line on this one. It looks like I jumped the track, and I want to make sure we have the right score line here. I don't know how I jumped the track that badly. Okay, so let's get this folded on that line. Okay, there we go. What was I saying? Oh, they're going to be trimmed a little bit differently, so we're going to just kind of go through here and trim them up. So we'll start with our first one. This one, okay, I gotta do some thinking on this one. Okay, so we're gonna actually cut off, yes, we're gonna cut off this whole top piece. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna grab my paper trimmer out for this. So actually, you could use this piece. You could make this one smaller. I'm not sure why I made this as big as it is, because we are cutting off this whole top piece up here. So I'm going to line that up on my score line and just trim that off. So we're actually cutting off this whole piece. So I'm not sure why my measurements had me do it the other way. So let's do a quick measure of what this is. This is now 8 by 8.5. And I hope I cut off the right side, and I didn't. Of course I didn't. Hold, please. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret. Let me get another piece of cardstock out here. So we need 10 by 8.5, and then we're going to score this one correctly. Let me see, 10 by 8.5. So when I do Facebook Lives, typically it's a box or project that I've made multiple times. So by the time we get to the Facebook Live, I'm very comfortable making it. I've made it a bunch, and I know what I'm doing. This purse, I've only made once, and I made it like 2 weeks ago. Probably more than 2 weeks ago. So, yes, I hope we don't stumble too much through this. Okay, so back to the card. Okay, so 10 by 8.5, score at 2 inches all the way around. All right. Now, we're going to fold and burnish on all those score lines. Now, again, we are actually going to end up cutting off one whole edge of this, so you could trim your cardstock down a little bit, but you don't have to. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer out one more time, and this time we're going to cut it on the 8.5-inch side. So we're cutting off one of the longest ends over here, which again means that you could probably, what is this going to end up being, like 6.5 by 10? So that would absolutely work. So you could trim this to 6.5 by 10 and then just score it at 2 inches on 3 sides instead of 4. Probably I was trying to make it easier on myself by having one set of measurements, but you can absolutely do it that way. All right, now we're going to trim up the bottom here. So straight up on that rectangle, and then we're just going to notch in the sides here. So just like any other box. Okay. And we are having to use 2 pieces of paper because I want this purse to be big enough for cards. And so to achieve that, we have to make it really big, which means we need a couple of really big pieces of paper. Okay, so that's the first one. So you can either do 6.5 by 10 and score it on 3 sides, or you can do the 8.5 by 10 and score it on all 4 sides. And then just cut off the top and trim up the bottom. So that's one piece. All right, let's get to our second piece here. Okay, we're going to use our bone folder. Oh, and you guys, I have to tell you a story too. And probably while we're gluing down some DSP, I'll tell you guys. It's about the $40,000 card. I'll tell you guys that in a second. Okay, so with it in the long sides, we have the 10-inch side up here. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Trim up on that score line on the rectangle, all the way to the score line, and then just notch in on the side. So this is going to be our bottom. And do the same for the other side. And we're actually going to do the same for the top, but we're not going to notch in on the top. We're just going to kind of remove the score line. So we're going to flip it over. And basically, I'm just going to cut a very thin little notch out here. This is just kind of taking out the score line completely, and that's going to help our corner rounder, because we want this to be a straight edge that we can use our corner rounder on, because these are going to be the little tabs for the inside here. And so I want to use my corner rounder on those, and so I want those lines to be nice and straight. So we are just kind of taking out that score line. We're just removing it completely. So let's do the same on this side. So I'm just cutting on either side of that score line and just kind of removing it. So this is all that's coming out, just the little bump from the score line. That's it. Okay, let's move these pieces out of the way. And so this is how the other pieces trim. This is the top. So the notches are on the bottom, and then the top is just cut straight, just like that. All right, and while we have this, let's go ahead and use our corner rounder and just go ahead and round these 4 corners. All right. And okay. So this is going to be our purse, okay? Pretty simple so far, right? All right, we are going to now adhere these together, these rectangle pieces, these long rectangle pieces. So I'm going to grab my super strong adhesive. You can use tear and tape for this as well. I'm going to use Stampin' Sale Plus. You can use liquid glue, anything that's super strong. And we are just going to adhere this down. So I'm going to move these tabs out of the way, and I'm going to turn it this way just so I can kind of get it. And these should line up. They should be the exact same size. They should line up perfectly. So these are all glued together like this. Now these are going to go together kind of just like this. So those little tabs are going to fold in along the bottom, and they're going to go in just like this. You can cut off the tabs on one of them if you want, which I think I might do. I think that's probably what I did. I don't think we need 2 tabs. So I'm just going to cut the tabs off of one side. I'm telling you guys, normally Facebook Lives, I have a lot more practice. So this is what it's going to look like, okay? All right, now we're going to just flip this over and make sure those tabs are out. And basically, I'm just going to put adhesive from top to bottom on these. Okay, on these tabs. So roll this around the other way and top to bottom. There we go. All right, so our tabs are going to get glued in. The score line is going to line up with that cut edge on the bottom, just like that. So those tabs are going to be glued on the inside. Line up that score line with that cut edge. And then these pieces are just going to go around and meet in the front, just like this. Just like this. Beautiful, right? So this is going to fold in, and then we're going to have our lid that folds in over like that. So we're going to add another piece for our lid, but this is basically our little card box. Our cards will fit in there perfectly. So let's go ahead and add our DSP. So for the front and the sides, you're going to need 4 pieces of DSP. You're going to need 2 that are 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and all the measurements are in the video description. So go ahead and just check that if you want the measurements for the video description. So this is going to go in the front and the back. We have 2 of them. And then for the sides, you're going to need 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 4 1/4, and those are going to go on the sides. Okay, so I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of all of these, and then I'm going to, and while I'm doing that, and while I'm adhering them to the box, I'm going to tell you my $40,000 card story. So my son had an interview on Thursday morning for a scholarship, college scholarship, that would give him around between like $30,000 and $40,000 a year for 4 years. So that's a substantial amount of money. And this one scholarship is holding up the process of all of the college decision making. I'm nearly positive. So it's a big scholarship. They said that they had 3,500 people apply for it this year. They dropped it down to 400 for in-person interviews, and then they're going to choose about 200 people from those 400 to receive this scholarship. So it's a pretty big scholarship. He's got a pretty good chance, I think. I mean, we're down to like a 50% chance if they're down to 400 people and they're choosing 200. So I think, but as we're walking out the door, I have the car keys in my hand. We are walking to the car. He mentions to me, oh, I was supposed to bring a thank you note for my interviewers. Like, Logan, come on, give me a break. So we ran back inside. I had him go through my basket of cards, and I said, find a couple thank you cards that we can use. You're going to have to write them in the car, but they're there. You have them to use. So I grabbed him some envelopes while he was picking out some cards. And so he wrote them in the car. He was writing out thank you cards in the car. And I was talking to him in the car, and I said, you know, had I known that this card would have been possibly worth $40,000, I probably could have made a better card. I could have worked a little harder. I could have made it, you know, pretty spectacular instead of just picking one out of my basket. Which, I mean, the ones in my basket are not bad cards, but for $40,000, I think I would have made a specific card, you know? So, but, you know, that didn't occur to him. He was like, oh, nah. But that's our $40,000 card fiasco. Had I known that I'd be making a card that could potentially be worth $40,000, I would have worked a little harder. Okay, I have another piece of DSP here. This one is 6 by 5, and I have scored this one at 2 inches. Okay, and then I have another piece of wild wheat here, and this is 2 by 6, and I've cut this with the scallop from the Scallop Contours Dies, the scallop border. I love this one because it's got like some stitching on it. It's really cute. And that dies, that is this one. So I use the scallop border. The Scallop Contours Dies has those wonderful scallop rectangles. All right, so we have this. we're going to adhere this to the bottom of our DSP here. So I've scored this at 2 inches. So you have a 3-inch portion on this side, a 2-inch portion on this side. We're going to adhere it to the 3-inch portion. Now here's where I want to tell you that if you want to improve this, you can. So I'm making this exactly identical to the one I made, but if you wanted to cover up this whole section, I would make this a little bit bigger, just to have the DSP go all the way up to that score line, and then you can drop it down just to show that scallop border. So I hope that makes sense. So if you don't want to see the inside of the DSP, just expand this a little bit to adhere this down. So I hope that makes sense. So we're gonna put some adhesive on here. I'm gonna put this on the top of my wild wheat piece, and then I'm gonna put some on the bottom of my DSP piece. And that's gonna just make sure that we have even coverage for both sides. And this scallop border piece just matches perfectly. It's about 6 inches long, so it is the perfect size. All right, now we are going to put some adhesive on this 2-inch piece here, so right above that score line and on the short edges. All right, and this piece is going to go right onto this piece right here on the top. So this is like our little top flap. So now we have a piece that's going to cover the entire purse. It's going to fold down just like that. So isn't that cute? Now see what I mean though, if you don't want that piece showing, if you don't want that part of the DSP showing, I would cover that up. Just make your scallop piece just a little longer. Okay? So there we go. So cute, right? Now to keep this closed, I used some magnets. I used 2 magnets here on each side. So there's magnets here, and then the other magnets are actually on the inside of the box. So that's where we're gonna start. We're going to pull out the magnets. Now I will say, now let me show you with this little purse. I will say that it kind of pops open if you actually carry it by the handle. So the magnets, while they're super strong, they're not strong enough to hold the weight of all 6 of those cards. If it's empty, you can carry it around by the handle, no problem. So if you want something stronger, I would try maybe some Velcro. I think Velcro might actually work better for this than magnets. I didn't have any Velcro on hand though, so we're gonna go with the magnets. So I have these little button magnets, and we are going to get 4 of them. You can find these little magnets on Amazon. They are super strong, and I've never had a problem with them holding anything closed. But for this project, just because it's so big, it is a little bit problematic. So I would go with Velcro. So that's one more little improvement you can make if you were making these. These would also be a great craft show item. Now I would definitely price them accordingly. You definitely want to get your money's worth for these for a craft show, but I think people would buy them. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just kind of position where I want those magnets. So I'm going to just kind of, I want one right here. And so I'm just using my take your pick tool with the piercer, and I'm just poking just a tiny little hole where I want that magnet. That hole's going to be completely covered, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm just going to bring in my ruler just to make sure we have them nice and straight. So I'm going to bring in my ruler. It's about 1 inch from the edge. So we're going to put the other one about right there. Just kind of hold the inside. Don't poke your fingers, but just make those little holes. All right. That's it with our take your pick tool. Let's put that away. So we have our magnets. I put them each on a glue dot, and I'm going to pick them up on my scissors, and I'm going to carefully just kind of feel where that hole is on the inside. You can even just kind of look inside. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, and then just carefully put that magnet down right over that hole. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Kind of look in. I know that the camera's probably not going to pick this part up, and hopefully I got them close to the right place. And then just drop your other 2 magnets on, just like that, and then we'll use our scissors to put on a couple more glue dots on these. And this should keep our magnets all, looking in the right place, so that it looks good. So let's go ahead and close this up. Make sure everything is nice and square, because once those magnets are stuck down, that's where they're going to go. So make sure it's nice and square. Oh, hopefully I got that. And then just close it, just like that. So the magnets do hold it closed very well, but when you lift it up it just kind of pops open. So I'd still go with Velcro. Now you want to make sure that you have a cardstock layer between the magnets, because if the magnets touch each other directly face to face, they will sometimes either rip off your cardstock or they'll just tear your cardstock altogether. So you want to make sure there's always a layer of cardstock or DSP between them. So if you don't want them showing here, you could even put them under the scallop layer, but you'd probably have them showing in the front down here. So I'd rather have them on the lid, just like that. Okay, let's go to that handle that we talked about. Remember, this was our 1 by 8.5, and we scored it at 4 1/4, not 4 1/4, 1 1/4 on each side, and those ends have been rounded. So we folded those, and what we're going to do to give this a little curve is we're just going to hold it with our bone folder and our thumb, and we're just going to kind of curl it from score line to score line. Okay, just like that. So you're going to end up with like this little rainbow piece with a little tab sticking out. All right, and we are going to put this onto our lid. So I'm actually going to start by putting the holes into my, hold please, I need to grab my paper piercer here. So I'm actually going to start by putting my holes into this part because I want this part to be like nice and centered with the brad. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball exactly center in this little section here, little folded out section. So I poked some holes there. All right. So for this, we're just going to kind of eyeball where this is going to go. And you can even tack this down with a little bit of glue if you want. We're just going to kind of eyeball where this is going to go. I think that's good. And we're just going to poke a hole just through the lid. Make sure you don't poke too far because you're going to go through that little tab there. So we're going to get this lined up. Where's our second hole? Okay, so then we're just going to hold our handle on the other side and do the same thing and just poke just a little mark just to make sure we know kind of where we're going. And then you can poke all the way through because we're going to be putting a brad on there. Okay. All right, so let's grab our brads. We have the round and square brads. I used black square ones for mine. I thought that was really cute. So I'm going to pull out 2 black square ones. And we're going to put them through the handle. And then through the actual purse. Put one here. And then put it through the handle, just like that. Put it here. So this is super cute. And I'm just telling you, anybody is going to love this sweet little project. And then just make sure that you are folding them down. Now, again, if you don't like the little brad showing in here, the brads showing in here, you can just put this through the DSP piece and then adhere it on, or you can take another piece of cardstock and cover that up. So if you don't like what the inside looks like here, if you don't like the DSP showing, the brad showing, the magnet showing, you can just cover that up either with another piece of DSP, which is what I would use because DSP is thinner, or you can cover it up with some cardstock. But now we have our little purse. We have a handle, so it's all works. And see, it stays closed until you put the cards in, just like that. So, but I would still go with some Velcro. Okay, so we have our little purse here. Let's work on our flower. I'm going to put our purse off to the side. So I've already done quite a bit of the flower in advance. So the flower is actually from the paper Florist Dies. These are in our annual catalog. You're going to use these 3 petals down here. They're like the little rounded kind of teardrop shaped ones. And you're going to need, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to need 8 of them. I have 2 more that we're going to do now. And we should have done this in advance, but that's okay. Because they need to dry. Where's my paper? Here it is. It's my bone folder. So I'm going to just kind of curl it like we're curling ribbon. You're going to go kind of backwards. And there is like a little line here that you're just going to kind of fold on. This little score line here. And these pieces are going to overlap just like this. So once they get glued together, they'll overlap and you'll get that little petal shape. So let's go ahead and do this. So you can use a glue dot. You can also use a glue gun for this too, especially for these 3D flowers. A glue gun might work really well because that's going to be a little bit faster drying than our Tombow, which is what I'm using. But I'm going to use a little clothespin to hold it closed, to glue into that, to dry into that shape that we want. So those little pieces overlap. And then once it's dry, if you need to kind of recurl it, you can, but that paper is already kind of going in that direction So that's what we're gonna do. So we have this one next. So there's a little score line right here that kind of folds it this way. These will overlap. I do feel that it's a little bit easier to get the petals going in the correct direction before you adhere it down. Just it breaks down those cardstock fibers a little bit and tells it to go in the right direction. Okay, so we have our clothespins. We're gonna let those dry, and I've already done the other 6 that we need. All right, also from the paper Florist Dies, I've die cut this little fringy piece, which I love, and we're gonna give this a little curl too. That's gonna tell us how to curl it up. And we are going to just roll this up, just like this. Just keep rolling, roll, roll, roll. And you can use any kind of strong adhesive on this. Again, if you're using a glue gun, you can just use a little bit of glue gun on here. We're just gonna use this, our Tombow. And we'll just kind of hold that for a second. I've also die cut 3 leaves from Old Olive. The petals are cut with Moody Mauve, and then the little center here is done in Wild Wheat. So once this little center is completely dry, we'll go ahead and just kind of fluff up those pieces like this. Okay? All right. I'm going to let these sit and dry for just a second, and while we do that, we're going to tie our ribbon on. This ribbon is from the Sale-a-Bration brochure. Actually, this is our Pool Party Crinkle Ribbon. It is so much fun. I love it. It's a little bit thicker, so it's a little bit more challenging to use on cards, but it's really, really beautiful. So I'm going to tie a nice big bow on the handle here. Again, if you wanted to put like a stamp tag or something on here, you could absolutely do that. But I'm going to do a nice little big bow tied on here, hopefully. This ribbon is it's a lot of fun. If you're looking for some good pool party ribbon for some projects, this is a really good one. It works great for 3D projects too, because it's fluffy, and it's a little bit wider than I would use for a card, so it's perfect for 3D projects. So perfect. Isn't that fun? So fun. I just love it. Let's trim off those ends just a little bit. I have some glue on my fingers, so that keeps sticking to my fingers. All right, let's see if those pieces are dry. The Tombow glue actually doesn't take too long to dry, so I think we should be okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and fluff this up. So we're just going to kind of separate all those little pieces on the inside to get our center piece. So isn't that fun? All right. All right, let's start assembling our flower. So again, glue dots would be fine, or you could do a glue gun. I'm just going to go through. Added a lot there. So let's just put a little bit on to the next one. So we're going to go kind of directly across from each other, and then we're going to just kind of nestle a couple in on either side. My fingers are going to get really, really sticky. I probably should use some glue dots. It would be a lot quicker, and there'd be less drying time. That didn't even make it onto the cardstock. I'm making this look so much harder than it actually is. So, partly because we have to have the drying time. Now, once everything is nice and dried, we're going to be able to go through and really kind of cup those flowers a little bit more. This petal I don't like too much, like that. There we go. I think that's better. So we have just kind of this little shape there, and then we're just going to go through, and I'm going to put the glue on the top of these this time, and we're just going to kind of go around and just kind of fill in that flower, make it a little bit fuller, and you can fold over those petals a little bit, just like that. Again, glue dots would be probably a great way to go, or a glue gun. You can make a bunch of these flowers and use them as like home decor. You can put them on a wreath. You can do whatever you want, but these flowers are so fun, so gorgeous. So we're just really kind of building up that flower. And one more on the other side. And I think I am going to use a glue dot for my little center. This glue is almost empty. I need a new bottle. So one more over here. Perfect. And we probably should have done this flower first so that it had time to dry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. All right, I'm going to grab a glue dot for the centerpiece. Where do my glue dots go? Here they are. So I'm telling you, this is a work of love, but whoever you give this to, I'm telling you, they'll be overjoyed. So glue dot right on the bottom, and this will go just directly into the center of those flowers. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Now, once everything is dry, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to refluff that center again just to give it a little bit more volume. But I'm going to wait till everything is nice and dried on my project before I really start doing that. Okay, so I'm going to take this and glue this down to our purse. So I'm going to bring this in. This is just going to go right here, and I'm going to use, again, more liquid glue for this. The liquid glue, I think, is the best for holding these things, but it does require a little bit of dry time. So just right on the corner here, open that up. We're just going to press that down. Okay, perfect. Now we're just going to take our leaves and just kind of curl them outward a little bit. Because this is a 3D project, you can add as much volume as you want to these flowers. We're not putting them on a card to mail them. And I'm just going to use some glue dots to make it easier, to make my life easier. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of the stem, and we're just going to kind of tuck these leaves in. I have 3 of them, so just kind of tuck them in to the flower there. And then we are actually done. This is it. So that is our little purse. I'm going to set this one aside because it needs to completely dry. That flower is still very much a problem to fall off there. So I'm going to bring in our finished one here. So is that flower gorgeous? So once it's all dry, I'll go back in and I'll refluff that center so that you get that beautiful edge, and then you have all these beautiful petals on the outside. And our card box holds those 6 cards that we made last week with that softly stippled set. And since this is that same DSP, or no, the softly sophisticated set, this is that same softly stippled DSP, everything coordinates, and the flower is the same color. That's that moody mauve. We have our wild wheat here, we have the old olive here, so it all coordinates beautifully and it fits perfectly in here. All right, so that is our softly stippled DSP project. I hope you guys love this one. Again, it's going to be a little bit more of a labor of love, but I think it's totally worth it. Especially for those super, super, super special people in your life. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will be live hopefully again this Wednesday. I'm thinking this week is going to be less crazy. So I think I will be live this Wednesday. And I do have a really cute project to share with you. We're going to make this adorable little nugget holder this Wednesday. So I hope you can join me. And Wednesday is actually Valentine's Day. So if you have some time on Valentine's Day, join me Wednesday morning and I'll make sure to post when I'll be live. Thank you again for joining me. Next week will be the heartfelt hellos from the Sale-a-Bration catalog. So I hope you join me for next week's Sale-a-Bration Sunday. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday, guys. I hope your team wins. And see you guys next week. Bye.